This is the video explaining 8-8 graphing parabolas homework. So we have these equations, and we know step one is finding the axis of symmetry. And we're going to use x equals the opposite of b over 2a. Our b value, the opposite of our b value is -4. Our a value is 1. So we get 4 over 1 or 4. So my axis of symmetry is going to be along this line here, which is very interesting on how that became black there when I was down. 2 is find the vertex. And the vertex is by plugging in your axis of symmetry value into the equation. Y equals 4 squared minus 4 times 4 plus 7. And 4 squared is 16. -4 times 4 is -16 plus 7. So we get 7. So my coordinate is going to be 4, 7. That's going to be my point. So 4, 7 is going to be here. Why do I feel like I did something wrong? I think I did okay. I knew I did something wrong. Mr. Mac, 2 times A. 2 times 1 is 2 and 2. Knew I made a mistake. So my axis of symmetry is actually there. Sorry. I knew I made a mistake. Hopefully you knew I made a mistake. So we need to plug in 2. I saw it and I kind of had a feeling. So 2 squared, there you go. So 2 squared is 4. -4 times 2 is -8 plus 7. We get -4 plus 7, which is 3. So my axis of symmetry, yeah, okay, good. 2, 3, 2, 3. There's my vertex. Now I'm going to use the y-intercept. I'm going to plot the y-intercept, which is 7. Right there, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes in the other direction. So that gave me the ability to find its mirror point, and I'm going to label, always label, sorry. That is 2, 3, this is 0, 7, that is going to be 4, 7, and now we need one more point. So 4 is mirror my y-intercept, and 5 is fourth point, and I'm going to plug in 1 from, I'm going to pick 1 for my x value, and I'm going to plug it into the equation, and I get 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 7, which gives me 1 minus 4 plus 7, which gives me -3 plus 7, which gives me 4. So my point would be 1, 4. 1, 4. That's pretty good. That is 2 boxes away. So its mirror point would be there. That would be the coordinate 3, 4. And I want the coordinate 1, 4. And now we connect the dots. So when you look, you want to have these coordinates as your solutions. Maybe you didn't choose 1, maybe you chose 5. Nice. Maybe you chose 5. Then it would be a point up in this region. I don't know what that is, but it would be something pretty big. So hopefully you're choosing the same values, but the shape should still be the same. So let's go through number 2. Axis of symmetry. Opposite of b over 2a, the opposite of 4 over 2 times 2, -4 over 4, which equals -1. So -1 is going to be my axis of symmetry. I'm going to make a dotted line on my graph. That gives me position. I'm going to find the vertex. Vertex is taking the axis of symmetry value and plugging it back into the equation. So I'm always going to square before I multiply. I'm not going to do 2 times -1. I'm going to square -1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 4 plus 3. Negative 2 plus 3 equals 1. So when I plug in negative 1 for my x, I get 1 for my y. Negative 1, 1. That would be my vertex. Now I'm going to use the y-intercept. My y-intercept is going to be the constant in the equation. So my y-intercept is 3. That's 1 away. So I went 1 away on the opposite side of the axis of symmetry. Let's start labeling these points. Negative 1, 1, 0, 3. That's negative 2, 3. So, and then part 4 is mirror. Part 5 is fourth point. So I'm going to plug in a different x value. Well, I haven't used 1 yet, so let's use 1. So if we plug in 1, we get y equals 2 times the quantity 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 3. 1 squared is 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4 plus 3 is 6 plus 3, or 9. So when I plug in 1, I get 9. Let's find that point. 1, 9 is right here. And its mirror point, it's 2 away from the axis of symmetry. So that's going to be 2. Now notice my coordinate is not 2 because I'm going from the origin. So here's the origin down here. So if I was going to find that coordinate, that would be 1, negative 2, negative 3, 9. Negative 3, 9. So we have to sort of calibrate when we write the coordinate. It is not going to be based upon the spacing from the axis of symmetry, because the axis of symmetry is not on the y-axis. Now I have 5 points. I'm going to put them together, and you should have the same 5 points that I have. Let's look at this. Ooh, so something that we should be aware of, something that should sort of be something we look for red flags. Since a is negative, we know that this parabola, when a is less than 0, we know the parabola is going to be upside down. When a is greater than 0, we know it's going to be up. If a is equal to 0, then it's going to be a straight line. Don't know if you know that, because there wouldn't be an x squared, and it would just have x in the constant. So axis of symmetry is going to be the opposite of b over 2a. The opposite of b, which is 2, over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2 over negative 2, which is equal to 1. My axis of symmetry, I'm going to make that dotted line. Let's find the vertex. Vertex is plugging that in. So I have the opposite of 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 1. So I'm going to square 1 first, which is 1, and then I'm going to attach the negative. Plus 2 plus 1, that gives me 1 plus 1, which is 2. So my 1 comma 2. So 1 comma 2 is going to be my vertex. 1 comma 2. And in this case, where this vertex down here was a minimum, it's the most minimum point, it's the bottom of that parabola, because this is going to be upside down, this is going to be considered a maximum point because it's the highest point. Let's do our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is going to be 1. So it's 2 boxes away. So that coordinate is going to be 2, 1. And this is going to be 0, 0, 1. Sorry, 0, comma 1. All right, so we did the y-intercept. We did the mirror of the y-intercept. And step 5 is fourth point. Let's pick another value. Well, we've used 0, we've used 1, we've used 2. So let's use 3. You understand, we used the x value. We've already used 0 for x, we've already used 1 for x, and we've already used 2 for x. So the next easiest one would probably either be -1, or we could do 3. So I'm going to choose 3. We're going to plug 3 into that equation. So that's going to be y equals the opposite of 3 squared plus 2 times 3 plus 1. We're going to square 3, which is 9, and then attach the negative, plus 6 plus 1. That gives me -3 plus 1, and that gives me y equals -2. So when I plug in 3, I get -2. 3, -2 is going to be right here. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes away. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes away. So that's that mirror point. And that mirror coordinate would be -1, -2. I have 5 points. I'm going to connect them and draw it. So you should have those same 5 points for the coordinate. Number 4, we're going to just keep doing this. Axis of symmetry. X equals the opposite of b over 2a. Opposite of -4 over 2 times 1. So that's 4 over 2, which equals 2. Axis of symmetry. Equals 2. Now let's find the vertex by plugging that into the equation. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5 gives me 4 minus 8 plus 5, which gives me -4 plus 5, which gives me 1. So when I plug in 2, I get 1. 2, 1 is going to be my vertex. Now I'm going to use the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 5. Whoa, way up here. Wowzers. All right, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So that would be my mirror point. That is, the coordinate is 0, 5. This is going to be 4, 5. How did I do that? Because I looked down here. I just went down to the x-axis and saw what its x value is. And it's 5 on the y. All right, that is, now let's do the mirror, which we did. And part 5 is 4th point. Now, here's an interesting thing. So, I've used 0, 2, and 4. I'm going to use 1. So we get nice and easy. They gave us a good love there. So y equals 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 5. That gives me 1 minus 4 plus 5. That gives me y equals -3 plus 5. And that would give me 2. So when I plug in 1, I get 2. So 1, 2 right there. And it's 2 boxes away, so that's going to be my point, and that is 3, 2. I have 5 points. I'm going to connect them, and hopefully now you see how it's getting pretty fast. All right, you can do this, right? This is pretty good. So x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So the opposite of 2 over 2 times -1, which is -2 over -2, which is 1. Axis of symmetry, did I do that right? Opposite of b, a is -1, yep. Negative, positive. Axis of symmetry is 1. Let's do my vertex. Y equals the opposite of 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 2, which equals -1 plus 2 plus 2, which equals 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So I get the point 1, 3. 1, 3 is going to be, I feel like I made a boo-boo here. Oh no, it's upside down. Somebody should, right? I felt like, gosh, that point's pretty high. How am I going to do? But notice that. So notice that my graph is going to be upside down. Let's do the y-intercept is 2. So there's my point, 0, 2. It's 2 away, so that would give me 2, 2. Mirror, Let's do the fourth point. What haven't I used? I haven't used 3. So let's plug 3 in. Y equals the opposite of 3 squared. Notice I didn't do negative 3 squared. It is 3 that I'm plugging in because there's no parentheses around that x. So I'm going to square the x and then I'm going to attach the negative. Plus 2 times 3 plus 2. That gives me negative 9 plus 6 plus 2, which gives me negative 3 plus 2, y equals negative 1. We get a 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1 takes me there. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So 3, negative 1, and this is negative 1, negative 1. I have 5 points. Those should be the 5 points that you have. Oh, a fraction. Wowzers. All right. Axis of symmetry. Yes. X equals the opposite of b over 2 times a. The opposite of b over 2 times a, which is a fraction, negative 1/2. You get negative 2. 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 1. It gives you a axis of symmetry of 2. Better get good on your multiplying fractions. 2 vertex. Oh, baby. All right, vertex. We're going to plug in the 2 into this crazy formula with a fraction. Times 2 plus 2. A lot of 2's. So we're going to square 2, which is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 1/2 times 4 is negative 2 plus 4 times plus 2. That gives you 2 plus 2, which is 4. So your point is going to be 2, 4. That is your vertex. Notice, hopefully you noticed, upside down graph. 3 is y-intercept. So your y-intercept is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. That is 4 on the x, 2 on the y. This is 0 on the x, 2 on the y. So y-intercept and mirror, super easy. 5 is going to be a fourth point. Fourth point. I'm going to pick 1. And so, oh, am I going to pick 1? Oh, this is, all right, I got to pick 1. So sometimes you want to pick it as a multiple of the denominator. But because we've already used 2 and 4, I got to use 1. So, all right, here we go. Y equals negative 1/2 times 1 quantity squared. Right, 1/2. Oh no, yeah, 1/2 plus 2 times 1 plus 2. So negative 1/2 times 1 plus 2 plus 2. You get negative 1/2 plus 2 plus 2, which gives you 1 and 1/2 plus 2, which gives you 3 and 1/2. 1 comma 3 and 1/2. Yowzers. 1, 3 1/2. So that's still 2 away, so you can do that. So that point is going to be 1, 3 and 1/2. This point is going to be 3, 3 and 1/2. All right, not too bad. That's 5 points. We're good to go. And the last one, where we only have 2 terms. So when I find my axis of symmetry, x equals the opposite of b over 2a, opposite of 2 over 2 times 1, negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. Axis of symmetry. Now find my vertex. So I'm going to plug that in. That's going to be the quantity negative 1, because that's my, now I have parentheses, because my x includes the negative. Plus 2 times negative 1. That is 1 minus 2. That gives me negative 1. So I get negative 1. Negative 1 is my vertex. Negative 1, negative 1. Now, my A is positive, so I know it's going to be a U-shaped. What is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is 0 because my constant. There is no constant, so it's 0. That's 2 away. So that's 2 boxes. Let's start labeling our points. That's negative 1, negative 1. This is 0, 0. This is 0, no. This is negative 2, 0. So I just did my y-intercept and my mirror. Step 5 is fourth point. What am I going to plug in? I haven't used 1. So let's do plug in 1. So you have 1 squared plus 2 times 1, which gives you 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So when I plug in 1, I get 3. 1, 3. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. That is the coordinate 1, 3. This is the coordinate negative 3, 3. I have my 5 points, and you are done. Woo, baby! That is some good stuff right there. All right. Good luck. Come and see me if you have questions.